Following Bitcoin's weekly closure yesterday, we can see that 43,200 is serving to be quite the barrier for the currency or the pair. Well, not quite a currency just yet, but we got weekly evening star formation potentially in the works, but we can say that the shooting star has been confirmed. So mapped to the wicks, 44,000. We got the spike up last week, closures below, and now looking for that follow through on the weekly time frame to run us into downside targets of 30,000. Okay, and that's gonna be support. So we're basically targeting the liquidity sat below this support level here upon a break and retest of the weekly 43,000 level. So moving over to the daily time frame, we got the lower swing high, few rejections up into it, bang, bearish engulfing, and then follow through. But the last few days have been quite slow, just choppy, not too much happening, and this price action is a lot easier to dissect if we jump down to the 4 hour over here. Okay, so we had the rally up into the highs, push away, and then a liquidation of these highs, double top, but we couldn't actually sustain. We got wick closures below the high, or body closures below the weekly, not the weekly, sorry. We got body closures below the wick high here, and then we started to sink below the daily level and shift to the downside. So it was once we broke this level here on the 4 hour, that's when we started to get our initial signs of that bearish momentum coming into the markets, things starting to roll over from the top down. So basically, over the weekend, price fell down into support at 41,800. Initially, I did have it mapped to this wick here, which just boxed off that consolidation. But since then, just adjusted it to the highs here, and we got the drive down in consolidation, and now this morning and overnight in Asia, you can see that we actually liquidated these lows, which is what I was waiting for before looking to get long up into the upside retracements, where we may form a lower high on this four hourly time frame before rolling over lower into the daily support in alignment with the higher time frames from the top down, basically. So with this 4 hour level over here translated over into the intraday, what we can see is we just had a buckload of consolidation basically over the last few days. But taking things back a little bit, we can see that we had a break and retest of the Asia lows over here, which was on Saturday. So Saturday there was a short straight back down into the 4 hour level. I didn't catch that myself, but it was a decent, just very simple break, retest on the switch here, at the end of on the switch of New York into the like kind of low dead momentum. But Bitcoin actually likes that a lot. After 6 o'clock, that's when a lot of the liquidity starts to come in. I'm starting to notice myself, and that was based off of the Asia low there yesterday. I did have shorts from here, which from up here 43.8, and I took that all the way down into take profit, which I believe was mapped on here at this point. So I think I got wicked out there for final target, and then up here as well off of this bearish engulfing on the 30-minute entry there, stops above the highs, and then I took this one down into support there. So it was just an A to B, A down into B, and then we got consolidation, and now looking for that move back up to the upside. Now that we've got the liquidation of the floor, basically, we've got the liquidation of the bottom of the range, we can start to look for that upside momentum to potentially kick through. Now, I don't think we're out of the woods just yet, in terms of we may come down lower into this range here. We may push down lower into 41,500. That's a nice psychological level there too. So with that being said, you just need to be cautious about getting long too early. Now, over here, I've mapped out a little bit of framework. So upside target for the top of this range is the New York highs at, call it 43,000. Consolidation, and then we broke down to the downside. So we've liquidated multiple times here, and then we took it out. and now we're starting to push to the upside. But like I said, I don't think we're out of the woods just yet, because we do have the potential to push down lower before then boosting to the upside. However, we are starting to get a type 1 shift in momentum to the upside. And what that is in terms of market structure, if we're looking for something to completely shift to the upside, we want to see a lower swing high broken, and then we can look for the retest to get long like so. And that looks like this. Okay, so that's a full shift in momentum where the market changes from making lower lows and lower highs to higher highs and higher lows. But type 1 is not yet fully confirmed, in the sense that we've got a break above a recent inside structure, what I like to call it. We haven't yet made a new higher high, but sometimes it can be the first initial stages of price potentially rolling back over. So that being said, so we got type 2, which is the full shift, breaking the lower swing high here, but this one is still below the lower swing high, but we've broken above the original inside structure. So it's an unconfirmed head and shoulders at this point, and at any point price may just print a little lower swing here, maybe make a higher low, not confirmed, and then go to the upside. But it's not very strong, because it's not been confirmed yet, unless unless price meets at the neckline here and forms an actual head and shoulders. At that point, it's a different story. So you've got this one, which it's the head and shoulders where it's at the neckline. You've got what price is currently doing, which is still sat below the neckline but above the inside structure. And then you've got type 3, which is the best, in my opinion, where price breaks the lower swing high, comes down and forms, I don't know why this is doing this. There. When it breaks the structure and then comes down and makes a right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders in this point. So that was kind of a little bit of a break of structure lesson. So type 1, not the strongest. At this point, what I'd like to see is price come rally up into, what's this? Nothing really, just a normal little high. Come back down, make a head and shoulders, and then we can start to look to get long from 42,000. On the other side, we may stay below this lower swing, come down, form a double bottom down here, which is then another indication that upon a liquidation of Asia low, we can then look to get long back up into here and look for that. The double bottom is a lot stronger than just looking for that inverse head and shoulders, especially if it hasn't hit that neckline up here yet. So there's a few variations on what may happen with price, but at this point, I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to force anything. Just waiting for further development. This New York low from yesterday is like the first indication that we may start rolling over, but until we seriously start to break structure, I don't want to jump in just yet, because we know Bitcoin still has a little bit of room to potentially tap down lower into this range before making that upside retracement. So that being said, I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to watch for more development. We're going to wait. I'll update in the Telegram as price moves on, but I'll see you in the next video.